Hello and welcome to a look at Paperboy 2 for the Amiga. To the best of my knowledge, Paperboy was never released for the Amiga, but we got Paperboy 2 instead. And I'm not going to be talking an awful lot about the game in the first part of the video, because this is playing it on an Amiga 500. The stuttering you see is actually not a graphical stuttering, it is a disk access. I don't know how it's possible, but the disk access is just so excruciatingly intensive in this game. It sounds like the floppy drive is getting eaten inside. It is virtually unbearable. It makes for an extremely stuttering, unpleasant pile of gloopy, buggy, not necessarily buggy, but it may as well be, because this is just borderlining being completely and utterly unplayable. So you can see for yourself what you think of the graphics. Well, I decided I would try and throw something a bit more oomph at it, like 1200 system, to see if that made a difference. Switching now, in the interest of gender equality, we will be playing the Paper Girl. All decent games will get sequels. We know that. I mean, films get sequels, and of course, games get sequels. That is not a new thing. This is a surprise, surprise, the sequel to Paperboy, and yeah, this is an Amiga version of an arcade game, and I no disrespect meant to any other systems, but this does not call out Amiga to me, not at all. The gameplay is about the same as it was in the original Paperboy, which I have covered on the Commodore 64. I will make a link between the two videos so people who might be interested can watch one from the other. But you have subscribers you need to deliver newspapers to, and you can throw your newspapers at other objects, windows, ghosts, demons, robbers, and the main gameplay change is the fact that you are using both sides of the road, not at the same time, thankfully, but yeah. When I was playing this game, you know what, there was one occurring thought that kept coming back to me. Why on earth did they not just make Paperboy? Paperboy 2, it's basically the same game as Paperboy, only worse. I should mention I have never seen this arcade, so I don't know. I wouldn't know how that plays, and I wouldn't have any reference material in that regard, but Paperboy 2, in order to be an upgrade, an update, whatever, from the original Paperboy, it has obstacles which are, there's certain naughty words I'm not supposed to be using, so I will not be using them, but it's just, why do I have a fortress firing cannons at me? Why do I have demons firing fireballs at me? It doesn't make any sense at all. On top of that, something that I uploaded the Commodore 64 version of Paperboy for was the fact that all levels remain, or all days remains static. Well, days are levels, so, but they remain static, which means that if you play through Monday, you are facing the same obstacles on a Monday. In Paperboy 2, to spice things up, they decided to randomize things. Yeah. Obviously, it's just a pile of building blocks where each section is its own minor puzzle with obstacles that you can learn to circumvent. But it just becomes extremely jarring, the fact that you can't, you have to learn the individual puzzle pieces more than anything else. And I'm not a huge fan of that fact, to be honest. I like that in a game like this that I can memorize what comes up next, so I know exactly what to expect, so I know exactly how to navigate around whatever it might be. And the randomness of this is just not something that I'm overly delighted by. Graphics, I've already mentioned that I don't know what this looks like, but it definitely doesn't look like an Amiga game. Well, I suppose it pains me to admit that it probably does look like an Amiga game, but you know what I mean. This is not something I would consider to be of even remotely average graphical quality. The sound is, I suppose, okay as such, but I mean, as I've said 100 times before, and I will say 100 times again, gameplay supersedes graphics and sound, and I found the original Paperboy on the Commodore 64 enjoyable. Maybe in small doses, but I still found it enjoyable. I actually found this game extremely annoying. I found it frustrating. I found it agitating. I found it boring. For me, this is a sequel that wasn't required. It's a bit like, oh, we've got a good game on our hands, so we need to make a sequel to make sure that we are getting the most out of it. But you know what? If you can't improve, and I mean, not throwing extra crap at the same game, but actually improve on it, why do you bother? Seeing these half-hearted, half I'm not going to use naughty language on my videos, but seriously, this is just, it just feels like they're just taking the base game and let you drive on both sides of the road and then throwing some oddball obstacles at you. If it hasn't occurred to you by now, I'm not a fan. I think Paperboy 2 compared to the original is just, it's more of the same in a very, very unneeded way. It didn't need the extra additions, it didn't need the extra wonky obstacles, it didn't need the extra gimmicks. The game was perfectly fine as it was. I mean, just look at it. I mean, it's just a game and all that stuff, and yes, of course, creative freedom and all that stuff, right? But seriously, this is just, yeah. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't know why game designers, game developers even bother. This is not a better game. This is definitely not a better game. Requires an Amiga 1200 to play remotely fluently. It doesn't look very good. It doesn't sound particularly special. The randomness of the levels, the obstacles themselves, the complete wonkiness of the obstacles, it just leaves a very, very bad taste in my mouth. And nope, not a fan at all. I much prefer the original Paperboy. And on that note, I will say thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.